I can't do this.
She means to say welcome.
Hopefully I won't have it perfect.
I hope so. I know, straight, something always happens. Yeah.
The cabin.
Yeah. So far, I've had
This one is a little rougher on my, not rough, but just some needs. The rest of them ain't that slippery. We thought of that.
See, just so you know.
Number 188 is our in-gathering. Come, come, whoever you are, wander, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come again. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to be back on our regular boat, on this blue boat home. Okay, well, that's my beginning dad joke today. My name is Bryan. For those of you online that may not know me, my pronouns are he, him, and welcome to a new church year. I have several announcements and I'll get through them, and there's also a couple corrections. As we all know, we try to keep the service to 1 hour, no hostages if you have to leave. Today we're going to be talking about, surprise, not chickens, dogs. And so more about that later. Next Sunday, this is a correction on the original announcements. If I had the speaker team copied on the OOS, we would have caught this. Next Sunday, we have a very special guest. Seth Anderson Matz is going to come and speak with us. Seth is a former student of mine and is making the rounds on a lot of the UU churches and UCC churches, talking about some things that he is working on. So we're really glad to have him next Sunday. And then the following Sunday on the 21st is when we're going to have an open discussion. We've had a couple of Sundays like that, but this is one where I kind of see the month of September as preparation for the rest of the church year. So on the 21st, the goal is, instead of a presentation, for us to just discuss kind of what we'd like to see happen during the church year, especially during the times we gather for worship in the mornings on Sunday. But other things can be in the conversation as well. So look forward to that. And then on the 19th, which is, I got a little ahead of myself because I got the announcements all messed up here. On the 19th is our autumnal equinox service at 6:30 here. And we are going to be doing some harvest blessing and gratitude giving and sharing for that too. It will involve bread, and there will be a gluten-free option, and also some apple juice, and there will be water instead of apple juice in case apples are not your thing. So we're looking forward to that as well. Dawn is usually the one who helps us by leading those, but she's not going to be able to be here, so we've been planning these things together, and I'm excited about that, our first Third Friday service. On the 28th is our Water Communion Sunday, so there will be more information about this obviously over the coming Sundays, but this is when people bring water, if you choose to do so, from some source that's meaningful to you, and if you don't bring it or you forget it or whatever, we'll have some available, and then we'll pour it into the vessel together as a symbol of our unity. And we're purposefully doing that the Sunday before October the 5th, because October the 5th is Rally Sunday. So we're beginning the church year with a bang. Lots and lots of things going on. Another announcement, Wells of Wisdom. There is a change of date, September the 20th at 10 a.m. Barbara
Mahal.
That's it. We'll host the September meeting in our home in Savage, nature hike and more. Come dressed to move, fair warning, right? It was originally going to be on the 13th, but it's moved to the 20th. If you want to get more information about that, see Kathy, I think.
Or
right?
Barbara.
Or Barbara.
Call Barbara, yeah.
Is that everything? Oh, I did say that October the 5th is our Rally Sunday. Rally Sunday meaning this is the Sunday that we take as UUs to evangelize. As everybody shudders in their seats. And Alice says no. No, this is the Sunday that we invite friends and family and others who might be interested in what we're doing, but also no commitment is necessary, just to come and have fun as a community together and spread the love that we embody here. Saturday, September the 27th, we are at Lovingmore Farmstead hosting our second annual Harvest Festival. And boy, we've worked hard for this one this year. It's from 2 to 6 p.m. There's a little poster over by the treats, which is appropriate, right? If you want more information about that. So we would love to have you come. And if anybody's interested in making something and bringing it, I've had a couple people ask, and I'm like, you know what, that's not a bad idea. Because we're expecting a little bit bigger crowd this year because we've gotten a little more invested in the community by way of disaster. And so many of the people are coming around from Awasika. So if you'd like to bring something or help out, like set up, just let me know. All right, I think that's all the announcements I have. Other announcements?
Sign up for treats. We have next week covered, but we're missing a few after that, so mess around, please sign up. You can also sign up online, the link is in the newsletter.
Thank you. No other ones? I probably exhausted them all.
Council meeting next Sunday. All are welcome. And if you didn't see it in the newsletter, the building has been sold. And we are looking at what our options are while they're going to be remodeling, but that's not until like May next year. And what our options are after the remodeling is still unclear.
So we have until May.
April.
They said
Yeah, the
April.
end of April.
Yeah. And, you know, it's really unclear what's. it's hard
They
to
don't
make-
know yet, so they can't tell us.
Yeah,
Moving
and,
target.
yeah, it's,
Yeah. Linda? Turn around. There we go. All right.
Good sign up, hello.
I guess I only have two other announcements. Now I gotta remember, I didn't write these down because I thought of them on the hour drive here this morning. One is, many people, and this is not supposed to be self-indulgent, but I just want to let people know, many people ask at the close of service if I have any eggs or anything like that. So I did bring extra today. If anybody's interested, just see me after the service. And don't forget, we have chickens and turkeys for Thanksgiving, all ready to go. So just see me if you're interested in any of those. Again, not supposed to be self-indulgent, but because people ask, I wanted to make sure everybody's invited to ask me about those things. And if there's nothing else, then I invite you to take a deep, slow, gentle breath. Welcome yourselves and each other into this community together by intentionally separating ourselves from the chaos that can be all around us, and let us meditate on this musical prelude to our service. Thank you, Chuck. I invite you to remain seated and join me in our opening words in the lighting of the chalice. Beloved community, we gather this morning in the spirit of love, curiosity, and shared joy. Today, our reflections are guided by unlikely but steadfast teachers, our dogs, companions who remind us of what it means to live fully and faithfully.
We open our hearts to unlikely lessons as we reflect together today.
Dogs show us non-judgmental loyalty. They welcome us as we are, without condition, without keeping score.
May we learn to see each other with the same openness and acceptance.
Dogs live for today, rejoicing in the simple blessings of the moment, a walk, a meal, a friend nearby.
May we delight in the gifts of this day, trusting that the present is sacred.
Dogs teach us resilience, rising after hardship, wagging their tails, greeting life with hope again and again.
May we find strength to endure and courage to begin anew.
Dogs embody forgiveness, letting go of yesterday's hurts and choosing relationship over resentment.
May we forgive and be forgiven, that love might flourish among us.
In their lives, we glimpse our Unitarian Universalist values: compassion without judgment, joy in the present, strength in struggle, and the healing power of forgiveness.
As we light our chalice, may its flame remind us to learn from all creatures, honor the bonds of loyalty, and walk together in resilience, joy, and love. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal with love, to help with compassion, to bless with joy, to serve you, Spirit of freedom, in the fullness of community.
I now invite you to rise as you are able and join us in our opening hymn, which is number 360.
Sorrows and regrets.
And now I invite you to hear these words of beloved community. If I get up here in my place. As our part of commitment to beloved community, we affirm that our interdependence extends beyond human bonds. We are woven into a larger family of life, one that includes our pets who share our homes, the livestock who sustain us, and the wild creatures who remind us of the earth's beauty and freedom. Our Unitarian Universalist faith calls us to practice compassion without boundaries. Just as we honor the dignity of every human being, we recognize that animals too deserve our care and respect. Their well-being is bound up with our own. How we treat them shapes the kind of people we become and the kind of world we create. When we feed, shelter, and love our pets, we embody loyalty and companionship. When we seek humane, sustainable, and regenerative practices for raising livestock, we uphold justice and stewardship. When we protect and preserve wildlife and their habitats, by honoring Mother Earth, we safeguard the web of existence that sustains all life. Beloved community is not limited by species. It is a circle wide enough for paws and hooves, wings and fins, fur and feathers. To live our faith is to live gently and responsibly among all beings, honoring their gifts and protecting their lives. May we be steadfast in this commitment, building a community where kindness extends to every creature and where love is the thread that binds us all together. It's all yours, Kathy.
Good to know. Using you to walk past, sorry.
Okay, as membership chair, I'm pleased to present Todd Fogelberg, who's going to rejoin our church. Come on up, Todd.
Thanks, Kathy.
So Todd, we charge you in your active membership to share with us your creative thoughts, your vital experiences of life, your questions, your doubts, and your discoveries. We ask you to shake us up with your thinking, to stir us with your conscience, to stimulate our hopes with your dreams of what life can be. Will the congregation please join me in reading the invitation?
We, the members of Dakota Unitarian Universalist Church, invite you to join us in our search for truth, in our concern for justice and peace, in our affirmation of the worth and dignity of each human being, in our effort to find and celebrate meaning in life. In joining this church, you give added strength and energy to it, and to all of us who have joined before you. We need you. We need your moral and spiritual support, and your financial support as well. We need your thoughts. We need your dreams. This church is no greater than the vitality brought to it by its members.
As members of Dakota Unitarian Universalist Church, we shall respect the honest search for truth in all persons and all religions. We shall take pride in the disciplined freedom of pulpit and pew. We shall accept differences among us as opportunities for the growth and enrichment of our religious life.
As a symbol of our welcome to new members, our fellowship presents you with this rose, which is a little wet. The rose reminds us of two things. First, the beauty of the rose reminds us of the joy we find in life, in sunrises, in fellowship, in love, in births. Second, the thorns on the rose remind us of the pain we also find in life, in illnesses, disappointments, separations, and deaths. We give you this rose to symbolize our invitation to you to share with us life's beauty and life's pain. Will the congregation please join me in welcoming our new member?
We welcome you into membership. We welcome your commitment to our shared ideals. We encourage you to participate fully in the life of this congregation and we extend to you our hands in fellowship.
Speech.
Now's the time in our service when we invite you to come forward if you feel moved to do so and share a joy and or concern and light a candle. And then at the end, I will light a final candle for all the joys and concerns that remain unspoken.
Once again, I do miss you guys. Try to be succinct here. I've been busier than usual because it seems that the stars and serendipity have brought me together with two beautiful families, both of whom survived genocides miraculously, one in Rwanda, one in Kurdistan. and both of whom are ready to share their stories to an America who needs to hear these amazing stories of amazing people who are immigrants now contributing to our society.
Nice.
If you want more details, ask me during treats.
Right?
Nice to see you all again.
You too.
So I'm sharing a joy this morning, and we talked about protecting animals and as part of our duty. And so I have a part-time cat. So this was a while ago, but I drove in my garage, and this little darling cat, she's a dark with the stripes. I forgot what they call that.
Tabby?
Tabby, thank you. Anyway, and so she came in the garage, and I tried to shoo her out because I'd never seen her before, but I couldn't get her out before I pressed the button to shut the garage door. So I opened the door and from the garage and promptly walked her to the main door and outside. Well, it was, I don't know, maybe a week or so later, this man appears at my door about 8 o'clock in the evening, and he's holding the cat. And he said, "Is this your cat?" And I said, "No, yeah, I've seen her, but I don't know whose cat she is." And so he wanted me to take her, and I'm not set up for having a cat all the time. And so, so he went back with her, and I don't know, put her out on the ground. Well, sometime later, so next door to me is a family with 5 girls and a boy on the way. And so it's kind of busy there. But anyway, they were outside, and I said, and she was there, and I said, "Do you know the name of this cat? Is it yours?" "Oh yeah, it's Mabel." So Mabel continues to come into my garage and it happened this morning. She came into my garage, and then I was ready to leave, so I had to take her over there. But she comes over, and she, I think that it's probably a lot of chaos in the house. And she comes over to rest. So,
100%.
yeah, so she checks out my house upstairs, downstairs, and makes sure it's all okay. And then, so not long ago, about 2 weeks ago, she took a nap in my living room. She checked things out, and then she just laid down. She slept for 5 hours.
Oh my.
Another time, she perched herself on the top of the couch and took a nap there, but not as long. So anyway, so that's my cat story. And I'm not allergic to her, as I am with my son's long-haired cat. But anyway, she's just a delight, and it's so much fun for her, for me, when she comes in and we have our time together. So that's my Mabel story.
This is for Annabelle. She started 4th grade this year.
She's what?
Annabelle's in 4th grade.
Oh my gosh.
And she got the teacher that all the kids were like, "You really want this teacher," so it's awesome.
What sweatshirt are you wearing?
Oh, Lincoln Park. We got to see them last week.
What is it?
Lincoln Park.
It's a band.
The band.
Oh, okay, thanks for that.
Went to their concert last week.
Okay.
Bill and I have a real joy. We had a great-grandson born 2 months ago. And our granddaughter is gay and married, and she was artificially inseminated. It was very costly, and this is the result. His name is Callum, and we got to go over there whenever we can, so.
I had two nephews get married recently. Bryan earlier this summer, and Nathan yesterday. I think.
He was supposed to.
There's a story, but later.
That'll be for treats too.
I have a friend of mine who has been struggling a lot lately. He just got out of rehab 6 months ago, and now he just lost his job because he's letting the anger get the best of him. He's doing some stupid things, so hopefully he can get it turned around.
Thank you.
This is a joy, and it has to do with the city that Steve and I live in. We've been in Burnsville, it'll be 30 years next year. And last night we went to the drone show, which was preceded by fireworks, and there were thousands of people up there for the event, and it was just really fun to see everybody coming together. In Burnsville's motto is "You belong here," and the drone show included all that kind of stuff in it. It was just awesome, and just looking around at the diversity in my community was so inspiring last night. So many families, and it's just such a diverse community. I just really enjoy living there. And earlier in the week I had gone to a city council meeting, and I was the only person in attendance besides a couple of cops and the council members. But what struck me about the meeting was, and it reflects the community that I live in, the meeting was 8 minutes long. We don't have, on a local level, we don't have anything going on like what you see on a national level. And it was just fun to see that light show last night. It's something they'll probably do every year, so keep it in mind for next year. It's usually the weekend after Labor Day.
Did you say drum?
Drone.
Drone.
1,000
Boy,
drones.
Are you
The
kidding?
largest drone show in the Twin Cities ever. 1,000 drones rose up into the sky. It was really amazing. They did a tribute to Prince, and it had all these beautiful displays. They did a tribute to the 3 public service officers that were shot last year and that sort of thing.
The drones have lights on them so that they change colors and can draw pictures in the sky.
Okay,
For those who don't know what a drone show is.
I have a joy. Bruce took a job at the state fair, so he worked there for 12 days. But the good part is he has a parking right by by the fair, so I can go there and then took a nap. And then when we go, we have to go and just so easier. And it's fun to look at him working in the international bazaar. Yeah, it's my best fair experiences. And also, even I had a lot of fat, sweet, that kind of stuff, because I work a long time, and I lost weight. So give me more inspiration to walk more. So right now I'm in my daily 12 minutes walk daily routine, and I did some time with Bruce. So it's a nice start to get back to my feet and walk more. So thank you, Bruce.
Well, before I move on to closing this part of the service, I will say that, speaking of community, some of you know that recently I was asked to do an opening prayer / meditation for a parade in this very small town of Waseca. At that invitation, I was a little bit nervous, as you could quite imagine. But apparently I was specifically targeted because I was told that we wanted a minister who wouldn't try to convert anybody. Well, you've got the right guy. What was also very interesting is that this parade was one with motorcycles and off-road vehicles, and much to my surprise, it was not, I guess this part's not a surprise, it was raising money for the Waseca County Humane Society. So if anybody wonders where a lot of this inspiration for today's presentation came from, that's part of it. But also, in the parade itself, there were bikes with pride flags, trans flags, and Black Lives Matter flags, and pro-immigration flags. I'm like, did I just get transported to some other place on the planet? Very proud to be a resident of Waseca.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderful day. Raised a lot of money. And we donated a turkey for a silent auction, so. At this time then, I will light a final candle for all the joys and concerns that remain unspoken. May we know that whatever befalls us in life, we are held in the loving embrace of this community. And now we say for all of these joys and concerns, both spoken and unspoken,
We hold you in our hearts.
Now, as many of you probably, well, everybody knows, I think, pretty much everybody knows Shelley Dugan, who comes here often. And she's such a delight in so many ways, but she's also sort of my confidant, the person I go to for pastoral care. And we were talking about this thing that happened, and she says, you know, I have a poem that you will love. Now, she didn't mean for me to read this during a service, but here we go anyway. It's called How Falling in Love is Like Owning a Dog. Common theme today. First of all, it's a big responsibility, especially in a city like New York. So think long and hard before deciding on love. On the other hand, love gives you a sense of security. When you're walking down the street late at night and you have a leash on love. Ain't no one gonna mess with you, because crooks and muggers think love is unpredictable. Who knows what love could do in its own defense? On cold winter nights, love is warm. It lies between you and lives and breathes and makes funny noises. Love wakes you up all hours of the night with its needs. It needs to be fed so it will grow and stay healthy. Love doesn't like being left alone for long, but come home and love is always happy to see you. It may break a few things accidentally, or not accidentally, in its passion for life, but you can never be mad at love for long. Is love good all the time? No. Love can be bad. Bad love, bad. Very bad love. Love makes messes. Love leaves you little surprises here and there. Love needs lots of cleaning up after. Sometimes you just want to get love fixed. Sometimes you want to roll up a piece of newspaper and swat love on the nose. Not so much to cause pain, just to let love know, don't you ever do that again. Sometimes love just wants to go out for a nice long walk, because love loves exercise. It will run you around the block and leave you panting, breathless, pull you in different directions at once, or wind itself around you until you're all wound up and cannot move. But love makes you meet other people wherever you go. People who have nothing in common but love stop and talk to each other on the street. Throw things away and love will bring them back again and again and again. But most of all, love needs love, lots of it. And in return, the love loves you and never stops. And that was a poem by Taylor Molly.
Nice.
As I had said previously, it's never a surprise for me to talk about chickens, but I haven't actually talked about dogs. So here we go. My realtor that showed us the farm said after we had closed and everything, she came back and she had 2 of her dogs with her. And I said, oh my gosh, you have dogs. Well, they can come out and play. I didn't have Storm yet at that point. And I love dogs, and I love love. And so they were happy running around, and I was thinking, well, they must feel free. But then I found out she lives on 400 acres, so they are already free. But they had an amazing time. And I just was smiling from ear to ear, not just because I had closed on this farm recently, but because there's life on the property. Didn't have chickens yet. And she said, you know, dogs are the best people on the planet. I was like, that's very interesting. I'd never heard that before. But apparently that's a common thing among dog lovers. And I had to do some thinking about that. But you see, I hadn't had a dog for almost 20 years. And that's because life happened, and I refused to get a dog living in a one-room or two-room apartment where I had to go out in the middle of winter and pick up what a dog leaves. And I just didn't have, I was moving all over doing PhD things and residencies and, you know, dealing with Duran's immigration and all of those other pieces. And so I was like, well, I want to make sure I have a dog when I am settled enough to have a dog. It was that day when Patty had come over to congratulate us and when she made that statement that I decided to get a dog. And so over the course of time, many of you probably been on social media or visited and met Storm. The most amazing dog on the planet. Not biased, right? But it led me down the road to do a lot of reflection. And over the course of her first year with us, I've learned a lot from her. So I'd like to share that because she was unable to be here to share with you today. Holly said, she mentioned, is Storm coming to give us something? No, but she's protecting the farm right now. So, because the other two farmers are at work making money, which we need. So, somebody's got to take care of the farm. Well, it's a little silly, right, Brian, that you're talking about dogs in the middle of church? Well, not any more silly than talking about chickens. But what can we learn from dogs? Well, dogs aren't perfect. And so I don't want to stretch this metaphor too far. But the first thing that I want to talk about is how loyal dogs are without judgment. I can be the grumpiest grump in the morning and get up not wanting to go outside in the rain and feed chickens, but yet there is my lovely dog encouraging me to not be so grumpy, that life's not so bad, you know, especially when love's looking you right in the face and licking you all over, welcoming you to the morning. We can learn a lot from that out of our UU values of the inherent dignity and worth of all people, and I would contend all life. That while we're very human and we're not perfect, it is good to strive to not be so judgmental. No matter how you wake up in the morning, no matter how you look, and no matter how frustrated people make you feel. I was having a conversation the other day, and one of the things that kind of rubs me the wrong way is when people get on social media and say, I can't believe you live in a red state. And I'm thinking, well, not everybody has the tools to just move across the country. I mean, we did. Thankfully, we had support to do that, but not everybody does. And there's a judgment in that. Like, if we lump people in. Like, how can you live there? And I mean, I'm guilty of that too, by saying, how did I live there? Right? And I've said that before after a couple beers. Don't tell anybody. But even in our times where we want to feel that judgment, where we want to get some sort of philosophical revenge because we're so angry about what's going on in the world around us, or even just because of what one person did, dogs teach us that, you know what? We must still be loyal and love one another and try our hardest not to judge no matter what. And there's a real lesson in there for all of us, including myself. because I had just shared earlier that my community surprised me. But I felt a little guilty after that, because it's like, why did that surprise me? Because of my predisposition for judgment of living in a red county. The second thing that I believe that dogs continually teach us is the ability to live for today. Now, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be worried about tomorrow. And the divine knows we're all trying to worry about tomorrow because we don't know what it holds for our nation and the world and even in our own lives. But there is a certain type of joy that comes for living in the now and not forgetting that this is a really important time, right now, together. These smiling faces that you see around you, look at each other. Look how wonderful this group is. Do you feel the love in this room? I do. I've never felt love in this kind of an environment before I came to this church. And it reminds me continually that every single Sunday, every third Friday, every movie night that I can make it, and whatever else we have going on, I live for that moment. Like, literally, not to get emotional, but I missed you all this summer. Like, I mean, people say, how do you make that drive? Because I want to live for today. I want to live for this. I want to see you. I want to be in your midst. I feel this. Just like a dog feels this love and joy and lives for today. And I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be alive. And you are part of the cause of that. I sound like it. Maybe I should write a book from the point of view of a dog, right? Let me get the other book finished first. The third thing that dogs really teach us is resilience. Now, many of you know about all the disasters that have happened. And by the way, we lost the very last tree, mature tree, last night because it had to be cut down because over the past few days of the wind that we had, because it had already been damaged, we tried to save it. Limbs kept coming down, and one of the limbs hit our hydrant, which, if you don't know what that is, that's the direct line to the well. And if that breaks, well, I wouldn't be able to take a shower for a while unless I visited one of you. So we had to get rid of the tree. But again, we're resilient. We're trying to be resilient in light of all of that. And despite that. And it reminded me, of course, the very fateful day that was the last day for one of the buildings that we had put up for our quail and rabbits. And at 1:30 in the morning, I was out there with Duran and Josh, cleaning up, trying to save what animals we could after that horrible storm. And guess who was right by my side the entire time, soaking wet, helping find the little quail that had gone out, helping to gather the ducks that had escaped out of fear. She never, ever showed any sign of stress. And you know, after we came in, and we had such a horrible emotional time doing it, she looked at us. She's like, I'm here. Love me. Look what it is all about right here. Resilient. She didn't complain about getting wet. Well, of course, I think she thinks she's a duck anyway, but that's a different story, since she has to test out the duck pools every time I clean them to make sure they're safe. But beside that, she worked tirelessly. I mean, that's a lot of work, chasing ducks over 10 acres. Resilience. And you know, why is resilience important to us? Well, as a part of our faith, that's part of what we believe. In order to actually do the good work of justice, we have to be resilient, because we all know how easy it is to get down and depressed because of what happens around us. And if we are not choosing resilience as much as possible, then we will not have the energy and the wherewithal to continue to fight for justice, for social gain, for social reasons, because of our community and love of community. We have to be resilient. Otherwise, as you've heard me say before, they win. Our resilience is our victory, not for ourselves, but for the future of this planet and for the futures of our families, these great-grandchildren that get born. And finally, this is probably the toughest one that I've had to learn in my life. Dogs teach us forgiveness. Now, I remember when I was having my ecclesiastical council, this is when you're examined by a board of bishops. We don't have that in the UU, but I had to be examined to make sure that my theology was correct. And so somebody said, tell us about forgiveness. And I won't say what I said under my breath because I'm on camera, but maybe in treats I'll tell you what I really said. Because forgiveness is sometimes really hard. When people do things that hurt us, and not only that, but when people do things that hurt others, we have that sense of justice from our resilience that makes us get really angry, and we forget that forgiveness is not for that person, it is for us to let go and not let that situation, that group of people, that person have the power over your joy. Dogs teach us this because, I can't count how many times I've accidentally stepped on Storm when she's out there trying to help me. She whelps and she looks at me and she says, that's okay, Dad. Let's keep chasing chickens. Or when I'm out doing some sort of reconstruction, which is what we've been engaging in a lot this summer, and I accidentally drop a board, like, not a big one, because I can't lift anything that big anyway, but like if I drop something and it kind of touches her on the back, she looks at me and she says, that's okay, Dad, let's keep going. Let's keep building something. And whenever I forget to put fresh water in her bowl, when I do, she says, you're forgiven. I have fresh water now. I know that's overly simplistic, but forgiveness is one of, for me, the hardest human things to do. Because I don't want to let go of my anger. I don't want to let go of my resentment for things that have hurt me, and especially not so much me, but that have hurt others. Forgiveness is a whole sermon in and of itself, so I won't belabor that. But at my ecclesiastical council, I struggled, and that was the only mark I missed down because I could not talk about forgiveness the way they wanted me to. Because they said, well, forgiveness isn't really your job, it's Jesus' job. And I'm like, oh, that was the journey that began towards Unitarian Universalism. Amen. I remember I saw what you posted on Facebook about what would you say if Jesus come back today or something like that? Yeah. Or something like, ask Jesus to pray for me. I'm like, great, thanks. Let's go to the next thing. Or something. Yeah. I love dogs just as much as I love chickens. Maybe a little bit more because, she sleeps by my bed at night to make sure I'm safe. Dogs have taught humans a lot over the centuries because it's humans' best friend, right? And so while not trying to be continually extending this metaphor and being over simple about how I do it, I encourage us to think about how we can be more loyal to each other and to our communities without being so judgmental. And I encourage us to live for today because we don't know what tomorrow holds. That doesn't mean not planning for tomorrow. Because, when Storm sees her food bowl half empty, she's already planning for tomorrow. So she sometimes still has that. But we need to live for today as much as we can and be resilient so that we can continue the good fight to push the human race forward as much as we believe that we should be. And practice the act of forgiveness, not because we believe that everybody should just get off scot-free. Because forgiveness doesn't release accountability, but what it does is release you from having the immense type of negativity that holds you back from forgiving the next person or the next situation. So dogs are indeed, maybe, the best people on the planet. But our challenge is, how can we be the best people on the planet. And Storm says, you got this. May it be so. So I open it up for a brief time of discussion. I know that it will probably be continued over treats.
There's a small town just outside of Montevideo that has a veterinary clinic, and on the side there's a huge mural. It's a big rainbow with a dog in the middle hanging out with somebody, and the quote over the top is, "Be the human your dog thinks you are." It's just
I
amazing.
strive for it every day.
I stop at that gas station every time I drive through just to look at it.
May I read a poem that some of you have seen and heard, that I wrote during COVID? That'll tell you what I think of dogs. It's called How I Survived the Winter of COVID. I must confess 'twas a walk in the park almost daily tween dawn and dark. No mask did I need in the wide open spaces, with 6 feet between the smiles on the faces of people who passed me, happy to be, escaping the lockdown totally free. But the moments that made my weary heart dance were the dozens of dogs I met by chance, romping in snow, wagging a tail, eager to sniff out any new trail, but happy to stop and give me some love and joy and hope and evidence of the truth in the saying, as souls are changed, that dog is surely God rearranged.
For those of you who don't know and haven't met Storm, she was the picture on the newsletter, and also the website and our Facebook page.
And I didn't know it until it came out. I was like, oh, that's a good idea.
I stole it from your Facebook page.
I don't get the newsletter.
Some of the things you said
I don't
reminded me
understand.
I know.
of a
I know.
thought that I had watching
Yeah,
just
I
the
know.
animals around my neighborhood. I don't have a dog. And my thought was, does that animal who wants to come to the bird bath, but I disturb them and they have to fly away and come back later, or the hawk that tries to get a bird and doesn't get it, do they feel frustrated? And I'm thinking, probably not. They just try again.
It's their job.
I was gonna say, I can tell you right now, squirrels definitely get frustrated. I've watched them very frustrated trying to get to some of the feeders when my dog says, no, not this feeder, not today. You can sit there, run up the tree, and they're just like,
Yeah, but they come back again, don't
But
they?
they do get frustrated, but they always try again.
They're persistent.
They're persistent, but I know they get frustrated. You
Okay.
can tell the way they're yelling at each other.
I thought it kind of ironic that you've had so much trouble with storms this summer, and that's the name you chose for your dog.
Yeah.
Well, she came with that name, and I
Came with that
decided not to change it because she seemed to respond to it, so.
Yeah.
Somebody cursed you with that, so.
Maybe.
You did say one thing I don't agree with. Steve and I have the best dog on the planet.
As it should be, right?
I think you all live on different planets, because Mia's the best dog on the planet.
Well, let us continue the discussion over treats as we are moved to do so. And again, welcome back to a brand new church year. Really excited about our opportunities and new beginnings this year. Great. So our closing hymn is number 38, Morning Has Broken. Number 38. Please rise as you are able.
So I'll just play a couple of chords as intro, and then we can start right.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rains do fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day.
And so as we depart from this place after treats, of course, may our tails wag with gladness. May our hearts be filled with joy for living today. And may our lives be ones of resilience as we live in a nature of forgiveness and renewal, pushing each other forward into a new day. May it be so.
So actually this song, oh, do we have, oh, go
Yeah, they're singing.
Oh,
Sending
so
it.
Suki's going to play as we...
ahead. No, we're gonna sing the song
Right,
first.
but after when we have
After
treats,
that,
right?
yeah, just have to, my play will be the background of you.
Awesome.
So, one thing I forgot was to find the sheet music for this, but I'm not sure what key it starts in. Do you have it there? I don't have our choir for it. Okay,
I'm sorry if you can't see it.
that's all right. You have D. I'm sending, starts right there. I am sending you light
To heal you, to hold you, we are sending you light. To hold you in love, we are sending you light. To heal you, to hold you, we are sending you light. To hold you in love.
Let there be treats.
It was orchestrated by the Spirit. I'm telling you. Right. So, I stopped in a thrift store, one that I almost never go to. And show you guys. And in this thrift store, it's in Lakewood. Anyway, and they have this one area, it's like a hole that's all bookshelves and all books and the whole so it's beautiful, but the whole thing has that blue, yellow and blue and the walls behind it. And in the center of this cove is this big stuffed gold chair, like a gold velvet chair. And in the chair is this little black girl with her legs crossed, reading a book. And my photographer, I went, the whole scene was there. And I went up to her and said to Mom, I said, you look so cute, I really want to take you. Okay with you? Sure. I said, but I want to ask your mom. Where's your mom? Over there. So I go and and there's another little girl and the mom holding a baby. And I kind of guessed the mom was African just from her dress. But we just clicked right away. And I went, and so I went, and all I had was my phone. But I took all these pictures, tons of pictures, because the little girl was fat, and then I thought I should get some with her face in it, you know. And then the other little girl wanted to be in the pictures, so she's there like smelling pictures going while the mother is watching with the baby. And so we exchanged information. And when I showed her the pictures, she said, "Oh my goodness, if you can do this well with your phone, I'd love to see what you do with your camera. And would you take pictures of our family?" And I said, "That's not my expertise. Mostly I do nature, but I'd love to try." Because I already knew the family was beautiful. So we were kind of in touch on and off. That was a while ago. And then, now it's probably been a couple months. Anyway, she texted and said, "My husband's mother is here from Ohio. Could you come?"